topic of conversation today is a focus on values. Can you create value with values? Most organisations and often teams try to create a shift, a focus on specific values, and the main reason for doing that is to get better results, obviously to enhance performance. So, can it be done? Yes, and of course no. Often, the main reason for creating a shift in that focus, unfortunately, is not the right one. Or what I should say is, the focus is about lax in performance, as opposed to trying to create a shift for something better. Now, often, to create a shift in values, or a better focus, or a different focus, what is actually required is a compelling reason, i.e. a very good story. Now, this is also true in many engagement and change shifts. A compelling reason, a compelling story that actually convinces people there is a need to really make that change, make that shift. Now, if we look around the world today, there are lots of reasons for change appearing. Compelling reasons that make people want to create change. Now, let's look around the Middle East. There's lots of momentum in the story of change. And if we look at countries, other European countries, such as Italy, there have been lots of protests recently on the subject of values. And this has been specifically to do with women's values and how they are placed in society, how they are respected. Now, respect, for me, is one of the what I call foundation values. For me, is one of the ones in the relationship area that is really important. And when you sum up relationships, for me, the value that stands out the most is respect. It's got to be respect. Get that in any kind of relationship, whether that's personal or professional. Even if maybe you do not like one another, which is sometimes the case in the business situations, when respect is in play, then both parties can operate professionally. So, if we look at the values in such as the banking credit crunch, there's been a big focus about, well, are those the right values that we should be operating to? I can think of a situation that I've come across where in a particular team environment there was a rather unfortunate incident of bullying. Now this was rather serious and ended up in very severe disciplinary action. That team, once everything had settled down, then went on to create a very specific set of values. Now they very much now live those values because of course there was a compelling story, a compelling reason to change, shift and focus on the values. Now, the question is, do we have to wait for something to go horribly wrong before we make a shift in values? Maybe not. But we do have to have a compelling story. Then we can act with enthusiasm and fervour that creates momentum in that change. The other thing that I think is important, the focus on values is evolving. There are baseline values such as respect. However, to create a focus on values, to get value, timing is important. So timing and a compelling reason, a compelling story is important in creating this focus on values. So values are evolving, timing is important, and then there are a number of baseline values which can add value to your organisation and its performance, such as respect, authentic integrity, honesty, all sorts of things that come through in your social media and any of the branding activities that you do, but you can add value, but only with a compelling story. So, can we add values with values? Yes, of course. But it needs a compelling story to make that shift change, rather than waiting for something to go wrong, or there has to be already in play something that gives a compelling reason to make people want to change. But that must be in play. Value with values. It's possible, but it often fails because of the lack of compelling story or compelling reason.